Are you weird? Or are you just socially awkward? Hi, my name is Pans, your favorite yapper, and today we're going to be doing a lot of yapping. Social awkwardness can be both challenging and complex. I know many teenagers and young adults may experience it, even though children can experience it too. Frankly, anyone of any age can experience it, but I'm talking directly to my teenagers. And yeah, man, Susan, my day, man. I just up in here, they say she make video. Come talk to your auntie. You know how long she not see you? I haven't seen this woman since I was a baby. What am I supposed to say? Today we're going to be getting a little bit more serious. I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable. Unfortunately, I wouldn't consider myself the most sociable or extroverted person. It's kind of ironic to say that as I sit here on a video for everyone to see, but it's a little bit more comfortable because I am in front of my camera. So, it's really just me, it makes everything less daunting and scary. It did take me, myself, convincing myself a lot to get here, to be honest. This whole video making thing took a lot of convincing. I had to talk myself into it, but I also want to highlight that it is due to other people's encouragement and advice why I'm doing this also. So you know yourself, if you encourage me to do this, it's also thanks to you, and I'm grateful. That is due to the fact that I'm not the best at being in the spotlight or having attention on me. I struggle with that a lot. Again, super ironic to say as I sit here making videos, but as I said, it took a lot of convincing, and we're here now, so I guess you have to live with it. This is a huge problem because everything that I'm passionate about or everything that I want to pursue in life does require me to be in the spotlight. And it's hard to grapple with, but I try to think of it as a fun experience rather than something nerve-wracking, because it is a fun experience and I am passionate about it and I should be having fun.
I'd love to. I think I just lied to you. I don't think I would love to. I think I'd find it scary. Yeah, I think I find it scary.
This is something that I struggled with as well when I was younger, because I remember when I was in primary school, I was running for deputy head girl, and I specifically remember not wanting to run for head girl the following year because I was way too scared and nervous to do deputy head girl in the first place. It was so nerve-wracking. It was so nerve-wracking. It was so stressful. I remember I had to go up on stage and give a speech in front of the entire school. Not even just my grade, the entire school. And I was literally so stressed out. I was sweating.
I don't know, I just don't think this is great for me. I don't want to do it. I want to go home. I can't take the pressure of it. But don't you think any job interview...
I think the reason why I decided to do it in the first place was because my mom encouraged me to, which I'm thankful for because I think it was a good experience. I think back at it very fondly, even though I do remember myself being constantly nervous and just not really thinking I could manage it, but it did help me to kind of break out of my shell, even if it was one snail step at a time, even if it was very slowly. It did help towards my development, which I do still think I have a long way to go, but I have come really far. If you were supposed to give me a speech to say in front of a large group of people now, please don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. I think I would be able to manage it better, much better than how I would if I was in primary school or when I was in primary school. When I was a child, I was not as sociable as I am now. I still wouldn't consider myself the most sociable person, like I said before, but I think I am way more, I think I'm better at wanting to make friends. I don't know, that's such a weird way to phrase it, but wanting to make friends and just being more sociable and putting myself out there, definitely better. Even better than I would say 2 years ago or a year ago. You know, as you get older, you change a lot, and I feel like I have changed a lot in the past years. Thankfully, I think I'm just better at dealing with social situations. Not the best, we still have a long way to go, but definitely better. I'm not great at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? Said by Chandler Bing, one of the most iconic characters from one of the most famous sitcoms. Friends is a sitcom, right? Right? From his famous "Could I Be Any More Awkward" moments straight down to his sarcastic persona, he's taught us one very important thing. You, yes you watching this video, yes you can use your awkwardness to your advantage.
Called it up and now I wish I was dead.
The laugh track in old sitcoms and TV shows. Why don't we have laugh tracks right now? Did editing span put because it's corny? Okay, so yes, it's corny, but it's just so nostalgic, man. Do you guys remember when there used to be laugh tracks in shows? I think there are some shows that still have laugh tracks, but yeah, maybe there is a reason why it died out. You know, your awkwardness could be the reason why you get no. You know, something that I realize is that they tend to tie awkwardness to the nerdy characteristic. So the awkward character is always smart or extremely, I don't want to say extremely, but nerdy, if you get what I mean. Because if you look at Charlotte from Henry Danger, Raven from That's So Raven, China, right? China was portrayed as a very smart character. So they tend to do this thing where, and I don't know if it's prevalent amongst black characters, where they tend to make, if they're awkward, oh my gosh, have you guys watched The Good Place? Chini, I think his name was Chini from The Good Place. He's sort of an awkward character, and at the same time he's portrayed as super intelligent. So something that I really pinpoint is that awkwardness is always, well, a lot of the times tied to intelligence or nerdiness, if you get what I mean. Which is it always the smart people? Well, I wouldn't call myself smart, but if you want to, I'm not complaining. Is it always people that are smart or nerdy that are awkward? I don't think so, but that is how they tend to portray these characters in media. One more important character that I forgot to bring up is Casey from Casey Undercover. Casey is smart, she's a spy, and she's a little bit awkward. Are we seeing the connection here? Because I'm seeing the connection. I don't know if you're seeing, I'm seeing the connection. Are you seeing the connection? Because I am. You know, I am. I don't know. And something else that I would like to point out is that not only are these characters awkward, smart, but also funny. If you really pay attention. What's up with that, man? I'll tell you what's up with that. We shouldn't always be the comedic relief in somebody else's story, but instead of often feeling out of place in social settings, we can turn it around and use our humor to comfort us in these situations and navigate social interactions as a whole. Matthew Perry brought so much depth to Chandler and many other iconic characters. He had a lasting impact on audiences, and it is truly tragic to see him gone. Some more iconic characters like Morty from Rick and Morty, which I think we should do a deep dive of Morty from Rick and Morty because
Mr. President, if I've learned one thing today, it's that sometimes you have to not give a f. That's it! I'm out! I'm gonna go into the wilderness, and I'm gonna make a new life for myself among the tree people! It can't be worse than this! Well then get your shit together! Get it all together and put it in a backpack! All your shit, so it's together! And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it! Or put it in a shit museum, I don't care what you do! You just gotta get it together! Get your shit together!
I was talking. Earlier we were talking about Chidi from The Good Place, but I want to point out one more character representation, which is Eleanor Shellstrop. Speaking of The Good Place, I keep seeing this man on my For You page ever since the rise of the new Star Wars series. He has not stopped plaguing my For You page. I'm kinda not complaining though, so... He's also a great character representation. In fact, I think he's the best one out of the entire show because he's the most awkward. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. If you haven't watched The Good Place, please, pretty please watch it. It's so good. He's so awkward. Damn! I don't know who has watched The Acolyte. I have. I thought it was good. Relatively good. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I love Amanda Stenberg. I think she's a great actress, so I enjoyed it. I did watch it. I did start watching it just for her, and then I stayed for both of them. I do want to know what Star Wars fans think of The Acolyte because it didn't get much good reviews. I enjoyed it, but I don't watch. I've never watched anything Star Wars related before The Acolyte, so I don't know. I don't think I have good judgment because according to the other fans that have watched it, they don't like it very much. Is it bad or is it good? According to people that have watched Star Wars and are Star Wars fans, I don't want to, because I've only watched The Acolyte and I enjoyed it based on that, but you know, maybe it is not really good within the Star Wars fandom. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched any other Star Wars, but what do you guys think about Star Wars? You guys can comment down below and tell me what you guys think about The Acolyte. Give me the Star Wars lore. While our awkwardness can be used to our advantage, it can also be a defense mechanism. Chandler uses his humor to mask his insecurities and as a defense mechanism. Relatability. Your awkwardness can be relatable. Don't believe me? Well, you're here relating to me right now, aren't you? We all know Michael from The Office, right? I'm not even sure I do. I've never watched The Office before. You know, I never watch anything, but at the same time, ironically, I watch everything. So it's like, I never watch anything, but I watch everything. I think I get it now. I've never watched anything that everybody has watched. Like, you know, the most popular shows, I tend not to watch them. Speaking of things that people want me to watch that I'm not watching The Boys. Yeah, I'm not watching The Boys. You see, I know there's some of you guys are watching this video like, why won't you watch The Boys? Please watch The Boys. It's never happening. You heard me, it's never happening. So take your mind off of that. It's never happening. Anyone that has ever recommended The Boys to me or asked me to watch it, it's never happening. Your dreams have been crushed. Who knows, maybe. Michael from The Office attempts to be a friendly but effective leader. Oftentimes, it results in an awkward situation. that teaches us about the fine line between genuine connection and inappropriate behavior. But despite his awkwardness, in the end, he does have a well-meaning nature. He genuinely does mean well. And as a result of his social shortcomings, important lessons are taught about empathy and personal growth. I wanted to talk a bit more about China Parks from Ant Farm, because I feel as though she really embodies the super intelligent / awkward character trope. China Ann Parks is a musical prodigy and the main protagonist of the Disney Channel series Ant Farm. She can play several instruments including the guitar, violin, and piano. She joins the Advanced Natural Talents, which stands for ANT, the ANT program, at a high school despite only being 11 years old. That is crazy if you ask me. I feel as though her character provides a unique perspective on awkwardness and social awkwardness as a whole, because after all, she's just an 11-year-old girl that is going to high school. I imagine that she would feel extremely out of place in many situations and would have to grapple with things such as academic pressure, being stereotyped, confidence, and insecurity. I feel as though what a lot of shows do is they try to turn this into a humorous experience, which can also be true for real life. I feel like a lot of people with their awkwardness and their social awkwardness, they try to turn it into humor to comfort them, as I said before. And it has its upsides as well as its downsides, because a lot of times we end up overthinking things and we try so hard to fit in that we may misinterpret social cues, or we end up not truly being ourselves. We try to act like somebody else to fit in with other people. But all this talk about social awkwardness and awkwardness, what really is it? Social awkwardness is when you feel uncomfortable or out of place in social situations, according to psychcentral.com. One study looked at socially awkward situations to find a common thread. In most situations, the awkwardness involves some sort of perceived moral or social transgression that intensified the social situation and directed perceptions of social behavior. The awkwardness was sometimes sudden and... Hey, pay attention. It was sometimes sudden, but often from something latent, some kind of tension that has been building. This is from an article by Very Well Mind. Now, I would say it's when you're at a restaurant and the waiter gets your order wrong and you end up eating the wrong meal because you're too scared to say anything. Or when you want an extra ketchup packet but you don't want to go and ask for one, so you end up eating dry fries. To put it very lightly, I don't want to reduce an entire experience down to simple moments, but I know we've all been there. Or is it just me? Social awkwardness is not considered a mental health condition, nor does it have a diagnosis, but I would say it's more of an emotion or a feeling or an experience, or rather a collection of emotions and feelings and experiences. It often stems from not being able to pick up on social cues or misunderstanding body language. This is really what leads to these awkward situations, or at least making you feel awkward in situations. While social awkwardness, social anxiety, and introversion may all have similarities, it's important to note that they are not the same thing. Why do introverts bring books to parties? Social anxiety disorder. No. I know when some people hear disorder, their mind goes... Relax. I'm holding your hand. We're in this together. Social anxiety is different from social awkwardness. Social anxiety is a disorder. It is a mental health condition, and it's a type of anxiety disorder that causes fear in social settings. People with this disorder may feel anxious when meeting new people, going to social gatherings, or just talking with people because they feel as though these people will scrutinize or judge them. I feel as though I can talk more about social anxiety and introversion in another video if you guys would like me to. Social awkwardness is a common feeling you may experience. It may look like avoiding speeches or having trouble making friends or not getting the ketchup packet because you're too scared. I just want to emphasize that it is a normal human experience. We're not going to be confident in every single thing that we do, and everybody is going to be a little bit socially awkward here and there, maybe all the time, maybe sometime, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. But it is totally normal. It's not talked about a lot because I know a lot of people brush it off and say, well, you're an idiot, so just, you act like idiot, so just go do what you have to do, stop act like idiot. But it's important to recognize that it's a little problem sometime and it exists. You're not just weird, you're not an idiot, you're just a little bit awkward, a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious socially when you have to do these different things, and that's okay. That's totally fine. Just try to think of social situations as not daunting but more fun experiences where you can learn new things, make new friends. Just be yourself. Yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but if you're not being yourself, who else are you going to be? Yeah, I know that also sounds cliche, but just ask for that ketchup packet. I assure the waiter is not staring at you. And just go up on stage and say that speech, and if you stutter a bunch, pack your bags and move to a different country. I'm joking. Just order that pizza. It's okay. Everybody's a little bit socially awkward. I do remember that time when I was just starting sixth form, and somehow, some way, I ended up on stage tying a tie for the whole sixth form body to see. I was so nervous. I don't know how I got myself in that situation. And now there's forever a video of me doing that. And if you have that video, no you don't. Delete it. Get rid of it.
I'm confident I can do this in front of people now and it'll be really cool. Spoiler alert, it was never cool, but that didn't stop me.
Smile even though you're sad.